Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Andriassi. And you could tell probably by these fine Formica counters that I am, yes, in my master bathroom again. We have about 6 minutes until the ZD timer goes off for dinner. And so let's get the show on the road. so, what we're going to be doing this week for our project, and it's going to be a 2-week project, is we are going to be making a special type of family portrait. Now, family portraits are a portrait or a picture of people in a family. But instead of making our family members people, we are going to represent them as fish. So this is my example of my family portrait that I did by myself. And here I have my husband, me, my 4-year-old daughter, and my 18-month-old daughter. And you can see that even though we are not fish, you could probably look at this and figure out, if you knew our family, which fish is which. So for example, my older daughter and I both have really long hair, so I gave us very long dorsal fins and tails. I also made us yellow in a lot of areas because we have blonde hair. And I gave her a little bow because she loves wearing bows. I made my husband blue because that's his favorite color. And I contrasted the blue with the complement, which is orange. And I made his hair a little bit shorter. He's got kind of a fish crew cut thing going on. And then with my little baby down here, she's a chubby little baby. So I made her this little round fish, this little cutie. And then I made her red and green, which are also complementary colors. And we'll talk about that next week, again, when we color this. But I chose to make her red and green because that color pattern kind of represents Christmas, which our family celebrates. And my baby was born right after Christmas, and she's my Christmas baby. So I made her red and green. So now you can choose to do this independently, so just you, or if you have a sibling in your home that's in BME, or even if you have a sibling who's in FAS and they want to join you with this, you guys can do it collaboratively, which means together. So let me show you my example here of my collaborative one that I did with my 4-year-old daughter. So the way that we divided up the responsibility here, which is important when you're doing collaboration, before we started drawing anything, we kind of decided who was going to be responsible for what. So first we talked about who's in our family, because everyone's family is different. You can incorporate people who live in your house, people who don't live in your house, grandparents if you want to, pets. The who's in your family is up to you guys. So first talk about that and decide that. If you're doing it by yourself, just decide that on your own. And then what we did was we decided who would be responsible for what. Now, if you're doing this on your own, you would be responsible for drawing all the fish. But what my daughter and I did was we decided that I would do mommy and daddy, and she would do her and her little sister. So you might be able to tell from the way that this is drawn, the ones that I drew and the ones that she drew. But we colored each other's. So we started out and drew everything in pencil first, and then retraced in Sharpie. You can draw it. I recommend you draw in pencil first, and then you can retrace it or not retrace it. That's up to you. And then when we were done drawing them, then she and I traded. So she colored mine, and she used complement. So she did blue and orange for daddy and yellow and violet for mommy. And then we talked about how she would like me to color her drawings, and she asked me to do her and her sister both rainbow. So I made her rainbow and her sister rainbow, and I did some gradient coloring. So you see how we kind of share the responsibility? Then we both added bubbles, and we added some different kind of vegetation and coral and shells and stuff on the floor of the sea. So this is a really fun thing to do together. And it might be a cool little challenge for you guys. But the important thing when you're doing a collaborative project is to talk about it before. And big kids, if you're doing this with a younger sibling, don't get frustrated if it's not perfect. You can tell by my drawing the things that I drew because I have more experience, and the things that my daughter colored in and she has less experience. What's important is you guys making something really cool and fun together as a family. And if it's something that you don't want to do, where it would really bother you having someone else draw on your work, then you can do an independent one, okay? So that's totally up to you, independent or collaborative. Now I'm just going to show you real quick how to draw a basic fish. This is more for my younger students, like kindergarten and first grade. My older students, I have posted a nice library of other video tutorials of all different kinds of fish that you're welcome to use as well. Younger students, if you want to challenge, you can try those as well. I watched them, they're all age appropriate, and they're all approved, so you can use them while you're on Google Classroom. So to draw a basic kind of fish, we can do sort of an oval shape like this, and then you could do little lips, big circle, little circle, do a little gills, dorsal fin. Now for dorsal fin, there's a whole bunch of different types you can do. You can do sort of a wiggly line and then lines down like this. There's ones that go straight across. Even if you want to look at some of the pictures in the video library I put in there, that might help you as well. Then you can do a pectoral fin, which is sort of this one that comes below his little fish chest there, hence pectoral. And then you can do your tail. So for your tail, you can go out, and then wiggly line, and then some lines here. So this is my basic fish. Then it's really nice to add some texture. Texture is a detail, and it's also an element of art that an artist uses to make their work look more realistic. It allows the viewer to look at the picture and say, that looks like it would feel like bumpy scales or a furry rabbit, or, you know, whatever kind of texture you create. So here I'm doing bumpy scales by just doing sort of a little backwards C shape repeated again and again. There's some scales that are more triangle shape, some that are more square, totally up to you. So here's my basic fish. You can use this tutorial if you'd like to, or like I said, you can check out the library of other tutorials that I have on there as well. Now, don't color this week. I want you to really spend your time drawing the fish, drawing the details in the background, bubbles. You could draw vegetation, coral, other sea creatures. It's totally up to you. Sky's the limit. Then just take a picture of it, and you can send it to me on Google Classroom, and I have a video posted that explains how to do that if you're not sure. And just hang on to it for next week because we are going to be coloring it. I hope you guys have a great week. And if you choose to do this with a sibling, I hope you guys have lots and lots of fun, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.